If you've just joined us, our guest on this episode of Question Time is the Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu Ogbeh. He would be unveiling his roadmap for the agricultural sector, particularly at a time when the president is planning to diversify the economic base of the nation. Join us again. What about the area of cassava revolution of the previous administration? Are you going to toe the same line?
It didn't begin with the previous administration. I was chairman of the PDP. I began the cassava business. I'm not claiming anything, but find out from the Ministry of Education. We will not have agriculture. We will not give it up. We are going to get the flour millers to blend into this program. Thank God they've accepted it. The point now is to create avenues for more of these factories that can have flash dryers to process cassava flour to acceptable international qualities.
Now, let me take you back to the 70s and the late 60s when there was nothing like oil production then. Oil exportation was not so much in our dictionary. Now, then it was cocoa and some other agricultural products. Now, the question is, what business has Ivory Coast in leading Nigeria in terms of cocoa exportation?
Udoji came and we abandoned the cocoa fields. You understand? So today, Ivory Coast is exporting 1.7 million tons of cocoa at $3,160 per ton. Ghana is next, and Nigeria is a miserable third behind, trying to battle at 300,000 tons of cocoa. Why? We gave up. Cocoa can grow in 25 states, thereabouts, but who has time anymore? We're trying to revive that. It will take a while. We have to clear more land and get improved. But again, the good news is we now have a cocoa variety that matures in 18 months, developed here in Nigeria. Palm produce, as you know, the Malaysians took it from here, and now we're buying from them. You understand? So we have to replant.
So much tension and controversy on rice waiver importation. What's your position on that?
As a policy, most government departments only bought Nigerian rice, which is very good for us. And the mills are coming up in large numbers, and many more will come. We're even going to do a program called LIFE, called Labor Intensive Family Enterprise, rice mills everywhere in villages with destoners and color separators, so the Nigerian rice can meet the standard of rice anywhere on this earth. But waivers, no more.
Could you shed light on your agricultural roadmap for the year 2016?
Increase production at home, a drive towards self-sufficiency in the quality and quantity of food we produce. You understand? And an increased drive for export production as well. The world is waiting for Nigeria to come and deliver fruits and vegetables, grains, cocoa, coffee, whatever. They're waiting for us in proper packages, in good quantities and qualities. And then our business is not to let them down.
In terms of rice production, what's your plan?
We are about 1/3 of the way meeting our national targets. But you know the other problem? We have 60 million Nigerians north of our borders who are also feeding on this country. So while you're meeting your demands, the pressure on you from the far north, Niger, Chad, Mauritania, and even Libya and Sudan is very high. But that's the target. The beauty is, here is the market. Satisfy your needs and deliver on exports. We will do it. The thing about rice, though, is we must have at least 2 crops a year. 3, if possible. Otherwise, we'll never meet our targets. Irrigation, processing, quality control, those are the 3 issues.
Let's look at the recent climate change deal. 195 countries around the world have signed this deal. What impact has that on Nigeria's agricultural sector?
Well, you know, the desert is coming from the north and the ocean is coming from the south. Those are 3 major, and then erosion in the southeast. It's a good thing. We have to actually build a wall, a green wall, to stop the desert marching down. My ministry will start that this year on a small scale in 1 or 2 states in the north. Environment will continue with the rest. That deal is okay for us. The beauty is when you plant more trees you support the climate change initiative. Because take, say, sugarcane. 1 hectare of sugarcane consumes 150 tons of carbon dioxide from the sky and produces 70 tons of oxygen. Imagine when we do cashew and acacia and neem and then go into jatropha. You could go to the carbon bank and make huge claims because we'll be doing far more to consume the carbon that's burning up the atmosphere than most countries of the world. We are aware of the danger. The desert is coming, populations are moving, and all this conflict with cattle rearers is because there's no grass where they're moving in from. And feeding their cows is a priority. Of course, the farmer can't afford to plant his crops and have cows eat them up. So the strategy on that is fine. Green up the areas of the north.
What about poultry production and fish production?
Poultry production, we need at least 40 million eggs a day here. We're a long way from there. We like to give every child an egg a day. For primary and secondary school, that's about 30 million eggs. That's not to mention households and hotels, or powdered egg for Bonvita and custard. A lot of that is there. As for broilers, we're a long, long way from satisfying the market. That's why smugglers are having a field day. But the southwest is now the poultry capital of Nigeria. They're doing very well. You know what they want from us? A stable price of maize and a stable price of soybeans. If we give them that, the price of poultry here will fall and production will rise.
How do you plan to make fertilizers available to the local farmers?
By April, we will not need to import urea. Between Notori and Indorama, we'll have enough and a surplus to export. That's urea. The rest of the fertilizer will be blended at home, the NPKs in different varieties and so on. There are enough blending plants to satisfy our needs. And we too are trying to shift a little more towards organic fertilizer. In Lagos today, there are 1 million tons of organic fertilizer waiting to be bought. We also intend to shift that way because we want to tell the whole world that Nigerian fruits and vegetables are purely and indisputably organic. We will not overuse fertilizer because chemical fertilizer actually destroys the soil.
In all said, how long will it take you to achieve this turnaround revolution in Nigeria's agri sector?
We need about 2.5 years to give you results.
2.5 years?
Yes, from now on.
By God's grace, I'll be there to take you up on
You will be there and you will see results because the response by Nigerians is amazing and highly educated people are beginning to show an interest. And it's our business to make sure they succeed. The issue is this. We don't want to lure anyone into agriculture for the person to fail because it is costly, bank credits are not low, and if one person fails, the news goes around. So the point is, especially young people. However, Western Europe, the United States, the Chinese, the Russians, every country subsidizes agriculture. Every cow on a farm in Europe enjoys a subsidy of €5 per day.
Chief Audu, Ogbeh, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Question Time and also for demystifying the facts and also giving us so much insight on what Nigerians should expect from your agricultural roadmap. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks a lot for coming and Merry Christmas.
And that's as much as we can take on this episode of Question Time. You may also send us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Join us next week on another exciting episode of the show on Channels Television. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiro saying goodbye.